All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of the VectorVest Jockey Club. I'm Jerry D'Ambrosio. I'll be your host for this week. Hope everybody had an enjoyable 3-day weekend and are ready to get back at it today for another good week. So that's the goal at the end of this week. It is a short week. It's only a 4-day trading week, which is good. It could be a good thing. Um, our goal at the end of the week is to come out on top. Hopefully you guys are kind of looking at this more as a weekly game, right, as opposed to a daily game. Let's end the week in the black. We ended the week last week in the black. Let's continue that streak. So it'd be nice to start the week off on a good note, right? So get some gains early. Today seems like it could be a really nice day, bounce back day today, which is something that we're long overdue for. So hopefully today's a good day. Start the week out profitable. So then maybe later on in the week, take the foot off the gas a little bit, takes the pressure off if you start the week out on a high note with some gains. Again, with a short week, that really takes the pressure off at the end of the week. So let's start off today on a good note. Just a little recap of Friday. If you remember, we didn't make a selection. We were seeing some conflicting information right about 10 o'clock in the morning, and the market was falling, but there wasn't the majority of bearish searches making money. There was kind of going back and forth. So we were just seeing some conflicting information. If you read Dr. DeLito's essay, he talked about how that day went. The market fell steadily. There were a lot of bearish searches early on. Then we had a midday reversal, and then bullish searches started to perform well. And there were opportunities on both sides, both on the bearish side early on and the bullish side later in the day. And that's what the Derby was telling us. So that's a little recap of Friday's activity. So once we head into the program, first we'll start to establish a directional bias that seems to be bullish today, although we've seen reversals early on in the day, but there's a lot of good news coming out that may indicate that today is could potentially be a really nice day. Pessimism is easing over in China. They are saying that their growth isn't as bad as investors perceived it to be. Earnings are pretty good here in the States. Oil's rallying today, so there's a lot of things pointing to some follow through here today after the open, as opposed to fading the gap once again and opening higher and then start to steadily fall, throughout the morning session. So we want to see the market open up, which we will, but we want to see continuation. Michael asks, can you discuss follow through from an end of day and intraday perspective? Well, Michael, it's really the same. If you're an end of day trader, you're looking to place trades today. If you're bullish, for example, which we're not, but if you were bullish, you'd want all the major indices up and rising by 10 a.m. You really want to still follow that 10 a.m. rule. If you're bullish, you want all the major indices and the VectorVest composite up and hitting higher highs heading into 10 o'clock before you place trades. And that goes the same for an intraday, on an intraday perspective. Higher highs, that's what you want to see. Follow through. If you're bullish, you want to see the stock up that day. And ideally, what you really want to see is the stock's price to be higher than either the close or the high of the previous day. That constitutes follow through on the individual stock. On the overall market, you want it to be moving in your direction. You want more stocks to be going up, so you want the advances to outpace the declines. That's bullish follow through, along with the VVC and all the major indices rising. Okay, so we'll start to establish a directional bias. Things are looking good in terms of the futures this morning. We'll go into VectorVest and we will take a look at the best performing industries this morning, take a look at some of the best performing stocks within those industry groups, create watch lists of those stocks. Now I'll do both. I'll do a bullish watch list and I'll do a bearish watch list again today. So it just gives you, all you guys, opportunities on both sides depending on what we see at 10 o'clock in the morning. We'll start to analyze the top Derby performers once the market opens. We will create quick folios of those searches. We'll look to place trades right around 9:50 10 o'clock or so. And good news, guys. I know a lot of you will be happy to hear this. We are tossing around the idea, and it's pretty much set in stone. But we're going to look to extend the Jockey Club maybe another half hour or so, go from 10 to 10:30, and help out and give direction for all of you swing traders out there. So we'll spend a lot of the time from 10 to 10:30. Listen, if we don't make a selection at 10 o'clock, which has been the case a lot lately, what have we seen? We've seen the directional bias be confirmed later on, maybe 10:15, 10:30. So that may still be the case in the extra half hour. If we didn't make a selection at 10, we could at 10:15, 10:30. We're not going to forget about that part of what we do. We're just going to tack on and add a little bit more to it, and we're going to use the Derby to identify some really good searches in terms of swing trading. Okay, might not happen this week. I don't want to. We're not going to do that starting today. We're going to iron that out probably this week and look to implement it maybe at the end of this week, early next week. At the latest, but that's on our agenda in terms of how to add to this, how to make this better and better. I forgot to do this. I'm sorry. I want to welcome all of our first-time attendees. At the beginning of every week, we're always adding on more Jockey Club members. So I want to welcome them to their first Jockey Club session. I forgot to do that earlier. I apologize. But you're in good hands here. We're having a lot of success with this process, and we welcome you guys along for the ride. So to establish a directional bias, again, we'll check the futures. Everything looks great, not only here, but across the globe. Looks like global stocks are really performing very well this morning. Futures are up. All the indices all the markets that are currently trading are up. So everything's up across the board. Jensen says, thanks, my first time. Well, welcome, Jensen. Welcome. Glad you're here. Let's see. We'll consult the homepage. So we'll identify any color guard changes as of Friday. There were some changes. We got some more red lights. With the sharp sell-off on Friday. Dow closed, I think, down 300 and some odd points. S&P over 1%. So rough day on Friday. Although from the open of Friday, you see a different picture. You saw at the close of the day, you had more bullish searches making money than bearish searches, and that was from the open. So there were some opportunities to go long on Friday. Remember, the Dow was down almost 500 points at the session low. It closed down up 300. So there were some opportunities midday on as you were seeing those bullish searches start to gravitate towards the top. Again, we'll use extended hours. We'll take a look at any color guard changes with the extended hours selected. We'll look at a market timing graph both on an end of day and intraday basis. So we'll take a look at any candlestick formations that might be appearing on both the VectorVest composite graph and the S&P graph. I did mention last week that there have been signs that the market is trying to establish a bottom. There have been a few candlestick formations that we saw last week that might lead to that might suggest a reversal. We didn't get the follow through Friday. I remember somebody saying, I think it was Bernstein, that you may not get follow through the very next day. It may come a few days later. Today might be that day. All right, so we'll take a look at that. To identify movers and shakers, again, this is still pre-market now. We're still trying to identify potential trades for today before the market even opens. We will look at the industry viewer. Because our directional bias, at least at the open, is going to be bullish, we're going to sort the industry viewer, okay, by percentage price change descending. That brings to the top the best performing industry so far this morning. Then we're going to open those best performing industry groups and sort the stocks by percentage price change descending. And then we're going to create watch list of those best performing stocks pre-market. For those of you who are new, what we're doing there is we're creating a hit list. We're creating a cherry-picked watch list of the best performing stocks pre-market. Once the market opens, we then monitor that watch list to see if there's any potential trades there for today. And we want those stocks to follow through. Yes, Bradley, I absolutely will show you how to build that watch list. Yes. And Durwood says, tell the boss, I think another 30 minutes would help a lot. Yeah, we think so too. That's why we're going to tack it on. We really think it's going to help because especially what we've seen a lot lately with that 10 a.m. reversal. We want to stick around a little bit and see if that reversal happens so that we can kind of plan and trade accordingly. So again, for those of new folks out there, that's what we do before the market opens. We analyze the pre-market. We take a look at the VectorVest composite during the morning, during pre-market, and see how that's behaving heading into the open. We create a hit list, a watch list of potential candidates to trade each day depending on our directional bias. So for example, if the futures were down and our directional bias was bearish, we would take a look at the worst performing industry groups and the worst performing stocks in those industry groups. So we're playing based on our bias. We're trading based on our bias. I'll try to go into the stock viewer as well and do the same thing. Just sort by percentage price change, descending. Take a look at some of the stocks out of the 8,000 that we track that are moving this morning. We'll take a look at the Derby as well. So that's the last thing that we'll do before the market opens. We'll create watch lists of potential cherry-picked trades for the day, and then we'll look at the Derby, and we'll look at the searches that are performing the best this morning as a whole now. So we just looked at individual industry groups earlier, individual stocks. Now we're looking at scans, these searches as a whole, and trying to identify the ones pre-market that are performing the best. And then we will identify those searches with a majority of the stocks performing well. We want at least 60%. Okay, we don't want to search. We would probably move past the search that was performing rather well, but only had maybe 40 or 50% of the stocks going up. All right, we would shy away from that one and lean more towards searches with a majority of the stocks performing well. And then we would look for a persistently rising and hopefully exploding equity curve. All right, that is all done before the market opens. Once the market does open, we then start to analyze the top Derby performers. We look to finalize the market direction right around 10 o'clock. All right. To do that, we look for either 60% bullish searches making money out of all the searches in the Derby, or 60% bearish searches, depending on our bias. Once we identify that, okay, we then create quick folios of the best performing searches at that time. All right, and then we'll place our trades. We'll look to make a selection close to 10 o'clock. We will use the Robo Trader again today, folks, so you'll get another peek at that. We'll be using that going forward now. So you guys especially will get the best look at it. You'll get the most in-depth, comprehensive look at that tool before even anybody else, because you're seeing it every single day. You're seeing how we're actually placing trades every day. So then when it is released, you guys are way above the curve in terms of how to use that tool. All right. So we're going to use that consistently here going forward. We will look to place trades on the best performers. And again, I've been using more of a portfolio stop. But listen, we want to make sure that we don't dig ourselves too deep of a hole on any one position. We use a 5% trail, but we're also looking at the portfolio as a whole. The portfolio as a whole goes down 1.5% to 2% in a day. We're going to look to close out of that portfolio, pick ourselves back up, take the loss there. It's not too deep of a loss. We're not talking 4, 5, 6% in a day, where it's going to be very difficult to finish the week in the black if you ever experience a 4 to 6% loss in a day. So we minimize that to 1.5% to 2% as a whole in a day. Gives us some wiggle room in terms of getting ourselves back into the black. Okay, it's not going to take all that much to get back in the black if we suffer that small little loss early. All right, so let me let's see. Michael says, are they working on portfolio stops to work with the trailing stops? I'm not sure, Michael. I'm not too sure. Um, I believe that they are, but it's not right around the corner. All right, so here is Bloomberg. We look at Bloomberg, folks, to take a look at the futures. You can turn on CNBC, Fox News if you watch that channel, Yahoo. I like using Bloomberg, so I'm going to hover my mouse over markets, go to stock futures. We can see all of the futures here, all the three major indices, all the minis. Future contracts on the three major indices here are up. They are paring back their gains, though. They're starting to pull back a little bit. The Dow, I remember, was up 270 or so or more earlier. Just starting to pull back a little bit here heading into the open. If I scroll down, you could see these markets are already in progress. They're already in session, and things are looking good. The FTSE, which is the London major London stock exchange, DAX, which is the German stock exchange, they're up sharply here. So far today. Again, trading is already in progress. The CSI 300 up nicely here. That's the Chinese stock exchange, performing very well. So far today. All right, so things are looking good across the globe. Again, global stocks look to be rallying today, which is a good sign heading in. So let me now open up VectorVest. Okay. As of the close of Friday, we could see that the major indices Dow closed down 390, well off of the session low, though, along with all the other indices. So VectorVest Composite did close 54 cents a share, down 54 cents a share. We did close with 3 red lights. And the price movement of the VVC has been picking up momentum to the downside. It's been confirmed by our RT Kicker combo timing system. Primary wave is still down. It's going to take a really big move in order for the primary wave to turn up. We're looking at about $1 here. Actually, a little less than $1. So let me just finish here. So buy to sell ratio is at its lowest level I think I've seen in probably 5 years. I think 2011 maybe was the last time it's gotten down to this level. We'll take a look at a market timing graph, but it's at 0.05. The majority of those are contra ETFs that are getting buy ratings right now. The MTI is very low at 0.44. So clearly we are searching for a bottom. Seems like the market is trying to establish one, and we still have a confirmed down signal though. Okay, so clearly bearish across the board. Market's been falling, hitting lower lows, but today seems to be a nice reversal day. All right, I'm going to go to Tools. I'm going to click on now Extended Hours. Let's see. Dan says, when you go to the homepage, can you show how to get a similar screen such as the advanced decline graph? Sure. The advanced decline graph, Dan, all you do is you click on the little wrench to the right of the word home. You select mini graph. That pops it into position 1 here. Instead of the VectorVest Composite, or, well, if you want the VectorVest Composite, the default graph is a VVC mini graph. If you want to change that, you click on the Configure button here, and then change it from price graph to advanced decline. Okay, so that it's a mini graph. All you do is you click on the Configure button, pop in mini graph. It puts it right into position 1, and you can change it within position 1. Okay. VVC is up 4 cents. VVC is up 4 cents now pre-market. We have 3 yellow lights across the board. And the VectorVest Composite price has to go above $33.89 in order for the primary wave to turn up. That's close to a 73% move, 73-cent move, which is very unlikely today. We're going to look over the next couple of days now to see if this rally truly begins today, and that follow through, and we get follow through again tomorrow and Thursday. That we're going to look for the VectorVest Composite to go above either these two levels here of $34 or $33.26, and then the primary wave will turn up. All right, so that's something that we're looking at to hopefully happen here this week. Here's the advanced decline this morning. Here's the VectorVest composite so far this morning since 8 a.m. So the VVC steadily rising, had that one, we seem to always get one big red or green candle right around 9 o'clock. So we got that one down candle, but it's picking up again, and the VVC is moving steadily higher here, heading into the open. Got about 10 minutes left to the open. And here's the advanced decline. 744 stocks going up, 193 stocks going down. So almost a 5-to-1 ratio there, which is really nice to see. All right, let me move now into the viewers. Let me quickly create a watch list here. The industry viewer, we're at 920. I'm going to sort by percentage price change descending. Remember, everything is pointing to the upside right now. So the top performing industry this morning is drug ethical, followed by energy clean, internet e-commerce, office equipment automation. So I'm going to double click on drug ethical. And now I'm going to sort this list of 39 stocks in this industry group. I'm going to sort it by percent price change. And these are all of the stocks so far pre-market that are going up. Most of them, again, we don't have many buy ratings, right? So most of them are going to have hold and sells, and that's okay. These stocks have been beaten down pretty badly, along with everything else out there. So I'm just going to tag a bunch of them. Let me just tag, all of the ones that are going up. And I'm going to right click, and I'm going to click on add to watch list. And for those of you who are new, we create a new watch list. Okay, we put it in the my watch list folder, but we create a new watch list and we call it trade ops for trade opportunities. This is a bullish watch list because all these stocks are going up pre-market, and our directional bias is bullish. And we give it the date. Today's the 19th. Okay, and you can see all the other watch lists that we created last week that I'll get rid of at some point today. So here's our trade ops bullish watch list. We have how many stocks here? I don't know, close to 13, 14, 15 stocks in the drug ethical industry group that are going up. These could be potential bullish candidates for today. We wait for the market to open, and then we monitor these stocks once the market opens. All right, let me just sort by percentage price change again. All right, so up at the top now, actually, I don't know why. Looks like mining iridium doing pretty well, 1.23%. Let me double click on that. I'll sort by percentage price change. Bill says, how do you select the list of stocks so quickly? Let's see. All I do is go to the industry viewer. It's a few clicks of the mouse, honestly. I go to the industry viewer. I sort by percentage price change. I double click on the stocks I double click on the industry group. That gives me all the stocks. And now I just click on percentage price change, and that gives me all the stocks that are going up. All right. That second stock there, it trades almost 700,000 shares on average. We'll highlight them both. Let's put them both in there. We'll put them both in our bullish watch list. Okay. And again, I want to make sure that you newer folks are kind of just getting a quick grasp of what we're doing here. Those attendees that have been with us for months, they know this process like the back of their hand. I know it seems like I'm going quickly, but that's what we kind of do here, during the first half hour. It is quick, but by the end of this week, maybe by the end of next week, you're gonna get this. You're gonna understand what we're doing here every day. So I double click on food dairy products. It's one of the best performing industry groups this morning. I have two stocks in here, Nestle and White Wave Foods, that are going up. So I'm going to right click on those stocks, and I'm going to add those to our bullish watch list. And we'll take a look at one more. We'll take a look at one more industry group, and then I want to move into a market timing graph. So I looked at mining, internet, food. Actually, I looked at, let's see. I don't think I looked at internet. Let me go to internet, e-commerce. Sort by percentage price change, and there seems to be a ton of stocks in this industry group. Yeah, a lot of stocks in this industry group are going up here. I am going to highlight all of them. Not that we're going to trade all of them. I'm just going to highlight all of them, and we're going to possibly, and you're going to possibly trade and select the ones that are going up the fastest once the market opens. And we'll monitor this watch list once the market opens. William says, is it better to look at stocks that are optionable? Well, only if you're trading the option, really. If it's not optionable, as long as the stock is traded heavily and has enough volume, it doesn't really matter if it's optionable or not. But if you are trading the options, yeah, very, very important that it is optionable. Frank says, look at SCO on top of the VectorVest Composite homepage. Well, here I am in the stock viewer. SCO is a looks like it's a crude oil contra ETF. Yeah, crude oil double inverse, two times inverse of the contra ETFs, and that's up today, which means that the Dow crude oil index is down today, which is interesting. So here are our top VST stocks. Lightpath. I mean, Lightpath just keeps going up, keeps going up. NetEase is doing good. Calmain. All these stocks are up pre-market here. Look at RSE, up almost $4, $3.66 here pre-market. All really good stocks here. Okay, so let's see. You want to maybe select some of these stocks, put them in the watch list as well. So let me go to graphs quick though, because we're running out of time here. We are getting to the 9:30 hour. Here is the VectorVest composite price. Let me just go to a 1 month graph over the last month. On the 12th of January, the VVC formed a doji. That represents indecision. Indecision at the end of a downturn with the market extremely oversold generally suggests a reversal. We didn't get follow through the next day. Notice that the price of the market didn't go above the previous day's high. So we didn't get follow through like we were hoping for. Same thing happened here on Wednesday and Thursday. The VVC formed a bullish Harami candlestick formation, oversold market. We didn't get follow through the next day. So it's, again, these are signs that lead me to believe that the market is trying to establish a bottom. All right, indecision, bullish candlestick formation. Market's very oversold. Look at stochastics as well. Market's falling. I wanted to just pull this up. We see the market falling, but look at stochastics. It's not strengthening to the downside like you would normally see with a falling market. It's diverging, and that's a bullish divergence. Just suggesting that the downturn is getting tired, and we may be looking at a new upturn. How long that upturn is going to last, I have no clue, but we may be seeing some signs of some opportunities to the upside here, at least in the short term. All right, that's an end of day graph. Let me change it from end of day, intraday, 1 minute bars, go to best fit. Here's the VectorVest composite here so far. This is the 8 o'clock bar, the 8 a.m. Bar, okay? And VVC steadily rising, had this two big red candles kind of throwing things off, throwing the view off a little bit, but you can see that the market quickly rebounded and recovered, and is look at the VVC now heading into the open. Here's the 9:30 hour. So this blue shaded area is pre-market. Okay, pre and after hours trading on Friday there. So the blue, this is all the after hours trading on Friday, and this is the pre-market start 8 a.m. this morning. Steven says the SPY is drifting down. Okay, so that's kind of how things are looking here. Let me actually go to add new. Let's look at SPY. That's the Spider ETF, S&P 500 ETF. Looking at a 1 day graph here. Here's the pre-market. Yeah, so the S&P looks to be falling here, heading into the open. We have about a minute left. All right. That being said, let's see. We got 25 seconds left. I'm going to take off extended hours. So this is how the advance and declines are looking here. Still have, well, now we have close to a 4-to-1 ratio. Not quite. as far as advances outpacing the declines, but we could see that's kind of falling here heading into the open. So VVC is picking up steam, low. Look at the VVC here as the market's opening now. We can see all the major indices open sharply higher. I'm going to uncheck extended hours. And so far, right out of the gate, half the database is going up. 4,600 stocks, more than half the database is going up. 960 stocks going down. Sharply higher open. Okay. All right. Jim says, is it odd that we haven't checked out the Derby yet? No, not really, Jim. We of course do. As soon as the market opens, we go into the Derby. All right. And then we take a look at the top Derby performers. Right out of the gate, well, here, this is from the market open now. Seattle Bear Beaters, Rare Birds. So you have a mixture, though, of long and short surges up at the top. Look at our summary here. 74% of the bearish searches are making money since the open. I know we're only a minute in, but since the open now, we know the market gapped open, right? We know the major indices open sharply higher. But just take a look at the performance of these searches so far from the open. 74% bearish, 56% bullish. All right. Seattle Bear Beaters up at the top. Now, this has 60% winners. It's just going to take a minute here to load the graph. Let's see. What do we have at the top? SPWH up 5% since the open. Matson Tech up 2% since the open. All right. Rare Birds has 70%. Not sure why I'm getting those errors there. But now we're starting to see a little change here. Now we have 72% bullish. We also have 67% bearish. Let me quickly, I'm going to come back to that. Let me just go into intraday. Let me just load the market timing graph for today. All right, and I'm going to stop. I'm going to make the right-hand edge right around 10 o'clock. All right, so here's the VVC so far. Kind of big red candle here, pulling back just a little bit. If I go back to the Derby, Jim says that's the spiders. Yeah, this is the market timing. Thank you, Jim. Intraday, 1 minute bars, current day. All right, here's the VectorVest composite now so far this morning. I'll stop at the 10 o'clock hour. All right, nice couple big big bars here. So we'll come back to that. So since the open, we're looking at a pretty tight race here, pretty tight battle. 64% bearish, 56% bullish. Look at MACD and RSI crossover search. Take a look at this search. APRI up almost 10% here so far. BSI, somebody said, look at BSI earlier. BSI is up 4%. So you got a couple of opportunities here. The search as a whole is up 1.83, 1.85% since the open. Again, look at our entry price. You have to make sure you understand that everything that we're seeing here, the performance of these searches is from the open of today, not the close of Friday. Got another one, MACD and stochastics, same stock anyway. Now you got LPI in here. Let me just sort by return on investment. Let me close the program, folks. I'm getting tired of getting that error. Let me close it real quick and reopen it. We need to see those stocks, especially, and the graphs, the portfolio equity curves as well. James says, look at split view. Yes, absolutely, James. I'm going to look at that. Split view puts the bullish and bearish searches side by side, so you can look at the performance of them all. They're side by side. All right, so Dow's up 157 now. VVC is here. Advanced decline, though, steadily falling. Joe says 80%, 87% bearish winner. So let me go to today's Derby. Yeah, close to 84% bearish searches are making money here from the open. All right, Robert says VVC trending down. Frank says SCO tripled. Let's go back to the stock viewer really quick. I'm going to go to our watch list in a second, but the stock viewer, look at SCO here. It's up 2% here, $4 from the close of Friday. All right. Lightpath is up again, another 1.25%. NetEase is up almost 4%. COM is up. Look at RSC, excuse me, up almost 30% from the close of Friday. Look at this, folks. You see a lot of really nice performing bullish searches up at the top, although look at the bearish 90% winners. Let me go to split view here. So, yeah, you have a mixture here. Show me the money long up almost 2%. Angel's Wings is doing well, but you also have a lot of bearish searches here that are performing well. Only 4 bearish searches three are not making money. Jim says, show me the money is dropping. Yeah. So just looking at that, looking at the summary, what do you think the market's doing from the open? Oh yeah, falling. So it gapped up and open, but it's beginning to fade that gap, and the VVC is steadily falling here from the open and is currently lower than the open of today. We could see things aren't looking great here with the advanced decline. More and more stocks are beginning to fall here since the 9:30 hour. All right. 94%. Let me change the filters around. Let me change this from the split view to the spreadsheet view. And Oddfellow short up at the top. Look at that equity curve. So that's what you want to see, folks. You want to see bottom left to upper right movement with this equity curve. Look at the stocks. We have 80% of the stocks going down here. I'm going to create a quick folio. All right. I'm going to create a quick folio. I'll open it later. And we're going to take a look at the performance of this search, closer to the 10 o'clock hour once we see things how playing out. Sinking sectors. And look at Oddfellow short, too. 80% winners today, 2.5% gain. But look at the 5-day gain, up 14.25% over the last 5 days. Jim says, is there any way to search for a specific search? You would just sort by name, Jim. That's the best way to do it. There's no searching feature. Just sort by name, and that will alphabetize the list. Robert says MTI is still trending down. Yeah, if we go back to the market timing graph, let me go to market timing, intraday, 1-minute bars, current day. Yeah, look at the VectorVest composite now. After that gap up at the open, it's beginning to steadily fall here and just about to establish a new low for the day. So this is another thing, folks, that those of you that are new, that we do. We observe the trend and the behavior of the VectorVest composite heading into the open. And if we're looking to go short, we want to see the composite falling and hitting lower lows and lower highs. If we want to go long, we want to see the VVC hitting higher highs and higher lows. So far, we're kind of in that middling stage between the low and the high of the day, but we're heading towards establishing new lows. Going back into the Derby, let me change the filter. Let me increase the average volume. So all we're looking at is prices greater than $1 on bullish searches, prices greater than $5 on bearish searches, with the average volume greater than 100,000 shares. Let's increase that to 250. We still see 94% bearish searches making money. Increasing the liquidity just a little bit more, going to 500,000. 97% bearish searches making money. And if we just go greater than $10 on price, 97% bearish searches. So you would never think, by looking at the major indices, right? Just looking at all these major indices and how sharply higher they are compared to the close of Friday, you would never think that since the open, look at the majority of bearish searches. Only one bearish search is losing money here. Let's see, Doug's Downers. This one looks great. Almost 4%, folks, from the open. Almost 4% from the open. 10 stocks going down. None of them are going up. I like this one as well. So I'm going to create a quick folio of that one. And what we do is we create these quick folios to prepare ourselves to select one of these searches come 9:50, come 10 o'clock in the morning. Look at Doug's Downers, up 4% now. This thing is really starting to move. 97% bearish searches. If I go to the dashboard again, look at the VectorVest composite. Lower lows now, starting to establish lower lows. Look at the advanced decline really falling off the table here. So just when you think that things might turn the corner, with the news that we got today, It's not seeming to be the case here so far within the first 10 minutes at least. Doug's Downers up 4%. Stocks to sell short. IG plungers up 10% over the last 5 days. Where's IG plungers? Yeah, IG plungers. Look at this one, up 2% today, up 10% over the last 5 days. Yeah, look at that equity curve. I love this one. Who said that? Anthony. No, was it Anthony? Joe. Thank you, Joe, for that. Look at this equity curve. So I like that one. I'll create a quick folio of that search as well. Just again to prepare ourselves. So that's been up pretty nicely here. Oddfellow short, 100% winners, up 13%. Don says, I held LABU over the weekend. He bought at $9.05, sold at $10.25 for a 13% gain. I'm out, smiley face. Nice job, Don. Nice trade there. Jill says, no more mojo inverted. So I like Oddfellow short. Jason says, VectorVest Composite hit a new low. It sure did. All right, it sure did. So it's steadily falling here. It is only 9:40, folks. You know, you've seen what's happened at 10 o'clock a lot of times. We get those reversals. So we're going to be a little patient. You know, if by 10 o'clock we're seeing the same things as we're seeing now, we'll go ahead and pull the trigger on a short candidate. But we're just going to hold off a little bit. It's only 9:41. Still have 97% of the bearish searches making money. Let me go to the portfolios quick. And let's take a look at the ones that we created. Doug's Downers, okay. Moving up. We just created a few just 2 minutes ago, so it's moving up nicely. IG plungers. We're only down commission here. Oddfellow short. Wow, Oddfellow short, folks, up 1%. Look at ESPR as a short candidate. Sears Holding as another short candidate. These stocks are following through. That's another thing we mean by follow through. You know, if you highlight a list of stocks to potentially trade, you create a watch list or you create a portfolio, and you begin to monitor those stocks after you create that watch list or portfolio, you want to see them moving in your direction before you pull the trigger. And with a portfolio, numbers that are in the green are your follow-through stocks. These stocks are continuing to move in the direction you want them to after you create this portfolio here. All right, so you have some opportunities. I know it's pulling back a little bit. What's the VectorVest Composite doing? Just starting to bounce off of its session low here. All right. Let's see. Going back to the Derby. Doug's Downers up 4%, 97% winners. Let me just change the filters. Let's see if we have. I mean, it's hard to get a stronger bias than 96%. So yeah, looks to be stocks greater than $10 with an average volume greater than 500,000 shares. Looks to be giving us our strongest bias, 97% bearish. Doug's Downers, sinking sectors. Let me go to the portfolios one more time. So we created Doug's Downers, IG plungers, Oddfellows long. Let me create a few more. Sinking sectors up 4%. Look at that equity curve. Looks really good here. Let me create a quick folio of that one. All right. Stocks to sell short. No more mojo inverted, somebody said. Thank you, Jill. Yeah, up 3%, 100% of the stocks going down there. 14% gain over the last 5 days. Let's look at this equity curve. Absolutely. This one looks great as well. All right, so I'll create a quick folio. We have plenty of opportunities here, ladies and gentlemen. We have the race has begun. Think about it. Think about what the Derby is doing for us. Look at Doug's Downers up 5%. You know, we may be leaving some money on the table here. Look at HDP though, 15%, 14% since the open. 14% since the open. So just again, think about what this tool is doing. You know, if you like searches, if you're a big proponent of scans, what this tool is doing is it's running 180 scans all throughout the day in real time without you having to do anything. All you do is you observe the movements and the behavior of these searches. HDP is now up almost 17%. And you select the one that is performing the best. Let's see, sinking sector still looks pretty good here. Almost 10% over the last 5 days. Equity curve looks pretty good. Still at 97% bearish. Look at the market timing graph again. Market's just steadily falling here. Now just establishing yet a new low. All right. Looking at the advanced decline. Look at that. Yes, we have more stocks going up today than are going down from the close of Friday, but that is vastly a different picture than it is from the open. Look at the open. Look at the majority of stocks now falling from the open, which is the game we're playing. We're playing behavior. We're playing price action from the open as opposed to the close of Friday. That doesn't mean much to us anymore if we're looking to place trades today. It's the open that's really important. All right, just coming off of the session low here. Going back to Derby. Robert says bullish Derby at all up over bear. Let me go to all. No, see, we have 19% here, only 19%, 97%. Robert says, sorry, prior close. Yeah, if I go to the prior close, look at the difference. 67, 68% bullish from compared, from the close of Friday, and 58% bearish. Much different story than when you change it to the open. All right, this is truly what the market is favoring from the open of today, and that's bearish searches. Okay, that's giving us a downward directional bias. Show me the money long, pulling back a little bit. So that's all in all. 93. I think I'm landing on the price greater than 10, 500,000 shares because we're at 97%. Bernstein says stochastics is oversold on the market. So if I go back to graphs, put stochastics on, yeah, it's entering into that oversold situation, right? So we may see. I'm going to leave my date line here and come back to the VVC. We're off of the low. Stochastics is falling here, and it's below 20, which is that oversold level. So we may see a little pop here. We may see a little reversal over the next, 10 minutes or so. Again, that remains to be seen. As I say that, we're continuing to move lower there. So I'm going to go to the Derby. Wow, Doug's Downer is up 5, almost 6% here. HDP is now up 19%. Loving that equity curve. Doug's Downers is our front runner here. Stocks to sell short, and it's coming on that 9:50 hour. So I'm ready to pull the trigger. Herbert says, how do you send the $10,000 portfolio value? Oh, how do you set the $10,000 portfolio value? You go to Tools, Application Settings, Portfolios, and then you set the initial investment there. There's the default, and that's how you set it in the portfolio. All right, Doug's down is up almost 6%. We're heading on that 9:50 hour, folks. Market is establishing yet lower lows here. What are you guys seeing now? I know Bernstein says stochastics is oversold. Frank says worst performing conchas reversed 50% from the open. Ronald says possibly investors are realizing that the market is scary and bearish, so they are buying funds, etc., of the major indices. Reason why the divergence between the stocks and the VVC versus major indices. Well, we can see that the Dow is now pulling back. It's well off of its session high, okay, along with the other major indices, and the VVC now is only up 8 cents. Looking at the graph, we're heading steadily lower here, heading into the 10 o'clock hour. Clearly a bearish bias. No matter the filter, no matter which filter I select here, we have a clear bearish bias to the downside. Right? 97% of the bearish searches are making money. Bernstein says oil is the driver. Yeah, really seems to be the case. Sharon says FANG is up. Let's look at a graph of FANG. Look at the market, folks, heading steadily lower there. Let me go to FANG. FANG's not up. It's an ETF there. Sharon says Facebook, Google, Amazon. Yeah, FANG is not up. We can see. This is a one-day graph here from the open. It's moving lower. So let's see. We're going to go ahead and make a selection here, folks. I'm going to go back to. I'm just going to go back to all in all right now, and I'm going to stay on that filter. Okay. 97% bearish. Look at Nomo Mojo inverted. Let's take a look at this equity curve. This looks great. This is our front runner here. Nomo Mojo inverted up 5% so far, 100% winners, 10% over the last 5 days. I'm liking Oddfellows short, sinking sectors. Both of these look great here, folks. Let me just take one more look at the graph, market timing graph, establishing yet new lows here. Okay, listen, just because stochastics is below 20, folks, it doesn't mean the market can't continue to fall. We can see, it's just technically oversold, and we can see it's clearly falling here, as we head closer to the 10 o'clock hour. Going back into the Derby. Jill thinks Nomo Mojo inverted with 5-day performance. Yeah, 5% here. Okay. Oddfellows short also up 5%. Look at that equity curve. All right, so Nomo Mojo inverted, folks. It looks to be the search. So let me go ahead and show you how I go about placing those trades. If I go to the market timing graph, we're heading lower here. So let me go to RoboTrader. Here's our trading account. I'm going to create now a new trading system. Going to keep the initial investment, not 100,000, 10,000. It's going to be a new trading system. So I'm going to set my initial investment. We're going to go ahead and build a custom trading system. Not going to use market timing for now. We're going to go ahead and sell short. We're not buying long. We're going to sell short from the Nomo Mojo inverted stock selection search here. Okay. I'm going to set a 5% trail on our portfolio, on each individual stock. Go into more settings. Trying to maintain 10 positions, so we're going to attempt to short 10 stocks, but I'm not going to automatically replace closed positions once I get stopped out. We're going to invest the average portfolio value. We're going to put $1,000 into each position. We're going to select odd lots. Okay. I'm going to click on Finish. I'm going to click on Save. Watch what the RoboTrader does now. It automatically alerts you. It says currently no recommendations available, but let it settle there, because this section here is going to fill up with our recommendations on the stocks that we are to short today. I'll go back to a market timing graph. VVC is steadily falling here. Going back to RoboTrader. Here we go. So it's populated all 10 stocks. It's telling us exactly how many shares we are to short. I'm going to select all of them. Okay. And then I'm going ahead and place orders. And this is so much easier, folks, now, because the quantity, the amount of shares that we are to short is all filled in for us. Now, I'm going to go ahead and place limit orders. The bid and ask spreads here, folks, are relatively thin enough that you could place market orders. I'm going to go ahead, though, and place the limit orders. The limit is going to be the difference, the split between the bid and the ask. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and preview orders. It's going to send them over. Here's our total estimated cost, right around $9,900. Look at this, only paying $10 in commission, folks. We're paying a penny a share. Look at our estimated commission, only $1 a trade. All right, so this is using TradeStation. I'm going to go ahead and place the orders. Art says that is cool. Yeah. Orders have been submitted. Yeah, Robert, you don't have RoboTrader yet. It's not quite available just yet. It will be released. Dr. DeLito will write about it when the time comes for it to be released. But we're demoing it here for you to take a look at. All right. So the following orders have been placed through your brokerage via Trade Now. Once these orders fill, they should be automatically reconciled against this trading system. So once the orders are filled, let's see if any are filled yet. Nothing is filled just yet. Once the orders are filled, there we go. We have a few orders here. These prices, folks, if I scroll over to the right, the cost per share is it reflects exactly what our TradeStation account reads. So the synergy is there, folks. The synergy is seamless. Okay, so here so far we've gotten 5 filled, not up on any just yet. Okay, but we paid a little bit in commission, down about 1/3%. Okay, so Good selection there, folks. Let me go back to the Derby. Let's see. The summary says sorry, an error. Let me just try to change this here. Just getting an error there in the retrieving your data section. Looks like the Derby just might be down a little bit here, folks. Let me just open up the dashboard. There's the VectorVest composite, just pulling off. Haven't established higher highs yet. Look at the discrepancy here between the advanced decline. The declines are steadily moving higher here and very close to outpacing the advances. All right. Bruce says VVC turning up. Yep, just turning up a little bit. Let me go back into a graph here. Just turning up a little bit here. You know, you begin to get worried, so to speak, if the market if a market starts to establish higher highs. We're not there yet. It's really this level, 33.27. If the market begins to rally here and eventually crosses above that level and you went short, you might think about cutting your losses at that point because you're starting to see a rebound, and higher highs is not what you want to see. So that remains to be seen. We'll keep an eye on the VectorVest composite here heading in. Let me go back to RoboTrader. Just about flat. Still only have 5 stocks here that have been filled. Let me see. Let me scroll up here. All right. If I go to recommendations, again, once these orders are filled, it's quite possible, folks, that some of these stocks didn't meet their limit price or they blew past the limit price and we didn't get filled. But Robert says, my stochastics oscillator on the MTI graphs is opposite from yours. Any thoughts? Robert, I have no idea what yours looks like or what settings you have, so I can't really comment on why yours is different. I am using an intraday 1-minute bar graph, and here's my stochastics. Okay, it's below 20. You might be I'm not sure what you're looking at there, but here's the VVC, just kind of flattening out a little bit. Ray says, is the Derby down? I believe it is, Ray. I believe it is at the moment. So yeah. So let me go back to RoboTrader. Again, only about 1/3% down. We got one stock here that's a winner for us so far. We got LJPC up a little bit, just about 3 cents a share. So we'll continue to monitor this, folks. Again, the genius is on. We are short positions. All of them haven't filled yet. Okay, but once they do, anytime we hit that 5% trail, we're going to get out, and we're going to monitor the overall value of the portfolio as well. All right, if the portfolio goes down 1.5% or 2%, we'll look to close the entire portfolio. But we'll just yeah. Jerry says the Derby keeps locking. Yeah, it looks like the Derby's down at the moment, folks. So we did make our selection. No Momojo inverted. Yeah, Barry. No Momojo inverted was the selection that we made. Joe says, what alerts can be set up in the RoboTrader? Well, setup alerts is just where you want the alerts to be sent. Okay, your watchdog, your portfolio, your RoboTrader alerts, where you want it to be sent. Okay, so if I go show RoboTrader alerts in VectorVest 7, I can then enter my email address. Okay, send RoboTrader alerts, and then click on OK. All right, click on OK. That's how you set up the alerts there. All right, folks. So again, no Momojo inverted was the selection. Looks like the Derby's down at the moment, so we'll go ahead and close for the day. Have a great rest of the day, everybody. Continue to monitor things. Again, things can play out in both directions at some point today. Right now, it's the bias is to the downside. Remember, we had almost 97% bearish searches making money there. Okay, so bias was to the downside. So record any trades that you placed today, and let's hear about them tomorrow first thing. And we'll continue again tomorrow. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. Talk to everybody tomorrow.